scenario for these two teams tonight is they both come into the game winless. They're 0-3. And presumably someone will break the streak in the fourth game of the season.
Well, the Clockers, in our 11 years here, Paul, the Clockers have come in winless on a couple of occasions many years ago, but for the Wolverines to be winless at this stage of the game, I don't ever recall.
Now, that's unusual.
They were formerly, in the early 90s, the number one team in the Tri-Valley League, but they've gone downhill the last 3 or 4 years. And as you said, both teams come into this game winless. The Clockers have lost to their non-league opponent, Norton, 34-12. Then they went out and lost to Holliston here at the Grump, 20-0. And last Thursday night, they played down in Millis and were shut out 20-0. The Holliston score was actually 26-0, as I recall now. So the Clockers have had trouble scoring points, Paul. That's been their big problem. I went to the Millis game last week. They played very, very tough defensively against an always good Millis team, the defending Tri-Valley League champion, but they just cannot move the ball.
Well, that makes it difficult, and obviously they've been 2 games without scoring. They scored a couple of touchdowns in the opening game, but since then have not been able to put the ball over the goal line, and I wouldn't think necessarily it'll be that much easier here tonight. Unusual weather conditions, it's sort of misting, but I think the field is fairly well chopped up, and if not, it's certainly wet. So at some point one would expect that could affect the footing for one or both of these clubs. So as you can see,
rained hard last night, and it was wet all day today.
Right. It's had no opportunity to dry out. All right, so as you can see, after the coin toss, Westwood will receive. They will be going from our left to our right to open this game.
Westwood, they lost their non-league game. I don't know who they played it against. I can't remember right now. And in the Tri-Valley League, they've lost to Dover Sherburne, something like 27-13. And they lost to a real good Hopkinton team, 17-9.
Now please stand as we honor America.
And now we're going to have the Star Spangled Banner.
National anthem is Ashland High School Junior, Linda Ciccarello.
Linda Ciccarello is going to do the honors. A windless night. We're almost ready for football. It's damp, but it's not really cold. Tonight's game being played on October 6th, 2000. The Clockers in their home blue. The Westwood Wolverines in their visiting white shirts with hunter green pants and silver helmets. Clockers have owned the Wolverines the last few years, Paul. They were a nemesis. Ashland went 14 straight years without beating them. But since they beat them for the first time in '94, the wins have come pretty steady ever since.
Well, they obviously could use one here tonight.
Last year down at Westwood, if I remember correctly, Clockers trailed at halftime 6-0 and won 7-6. But interesting, Westwood, they went 6-4 last year, Paul. They got their whole team back. All their starters are back. Their quarterback is a 4-year starter. Their running back, Chris Magete, is a 1,000-yard rusher last year and has been their leading rusher the last 3 years. You'd have to say he's their main guy on offense, but their passer passed for 1,000 yards last year. But I heard a rumor he might be hurt, so we'll have to see if he's going to come out.
Well, Mage Tay and Carson Brennan, number 11, are back deep to take Barard's kickoff, and he squibs it up along the ground. It goes through the hands of one of the up guys. Mage Tay tries to get a hand on it. He could not, and finally he's going to be taken down somewhere. I believe it's around the 25-yard line. It'll be Westwood 1st and 10.
The dampness already coming into play.
I suspect, I can't imagine that was an intentional squib kick.
A lot of it can be mental, too.
Nothing wrong with that.
You start thinking that the ball's slippery and you can't hold on to it, and lo and behold, that's what happens.
Well, it's Carson Brennan calling signals for Westwood. Handoff, quick handoff inside, and the ball carrier goes down. Excuse me, that was Brennan on the carry.
Somebody's got a new number out there, Paul.
I'm afraid you're
Somebody
right.
forgot their shirt.
I think so.
And what is that, 36 or 38? We'll have to figure out who it is by the process of elimination. Unfortunately, the game will be almost over by the time.
Well, we'll work it out. Doug Collins, 14, is the quarterback. And again, the handoff. And that was Mage Tay, number 5, on the handoff. So it'll be 3rd down and almost 9 yards to go, as they barely gained a yard in the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Paul Collins is only a sophomore. He's the backup. Right. The starter is Jason Lambert, and he's not in there.
Well, I noticed Lambert is listed as one of the captains, but he was not on the field for the coin toss.
Couldn't even make the coin toss, so he's definitely out.
So he's obviously out. This is number 24, and that's, 24 is Ivan Carrasco to the near side right. The ball is thrown out there, and it's incomplete. A nice ball intended for number 19. That was Peter Kellner, but just off his fingertips, incomplete. So Westwood will kick it out.
Kellner, a well-known name in Westwood football, one of their best receivers. Westwood always a passing team, always has been.
Oh, it was a pretty well-thrown ball, but it was a little on the high side, and Kellner went up for it, and it went off his fingertips, but he could not come down with it. So we will see the first punt of the night. Brian Hackett back deep for the Clockers. Mage Tay kicks it out of there, and that is way over Hackett's head. He picks it up, eludes a tackler, won't elude the second guy as they drag him down by the boot tops, right down in front of us. It'll be Ashland 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Brian had a beautiful 50-yard run from scrimmage last week against Millis. He took the ball from Ashland's own 15-yard line all the way deep into Millis territory, but the Clockers just couldn't put it in from there.
Well, rumors around the Grump as we came in tonight was that Sean Hanrahan would not play, and in fact, number 4, Dan Sullivan, is in at quarterback to open things up for the Clockers 1st and 10. Hands it off instantly to Hackett. Hackett with a pretty good-sized hole. Storms ahead for about 6. So good first down play for the Clockers. 9 minutes to go, first quarter, no score.
Danny is a junior, Paul. That was his first significant snap as a varsity player for the Clockers.
Matt Susser's in the backfield as well. He's number 40. And they hand it, that's Sousa. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and still about 5 yards to go. Was that Hackett? I'm sorry, that was Hackett, 43. I beg your pardon. But I'm told that Sousa is available.
Yeah, he's in uniform. He's wearing number 40. I don't know if he'll play tonight, but I would guess he would if he can. There's a lot of eligibility rules that we're not completely familiar with. You have to practice for a certain amount of time before you can play and things like that.
Wideouts Manzeller and Guerrero to throw is Sullivan, and he throws it incomplete. Intended for a Roman out of the backfield, but it falls incomplete, so it'll be 4th down and 5. And the Clockers will kick it out of there. So after an effective first down play, they stalled. So it's 3 and out for Ashland.
I don't recall that pass to the fullback, a Roman, before, so that might be a new wrinkle. Coach Maines, of course, desperate for offense. He has to come up with something each week.
Well, they put the heat on Sullivan.
And Hanrahan's in the game. He's the up back on this punt formation.
Okay.
He wears number 1.
That's right. Ooh, a high snap way over the punter's head. That's Barard.
No rush. He can still get it off, but it's not going to go too far.
Pretty good kick under the circumstances. And he's going to benefit from a decent roll. I mean, from scrimmage, not much of a kick, but under panic conditions, not bad at all.
All things considered, we'll take it.
No.
That's a net of about 12 yards, but that could have been nothing.
That could have been Westwood Bowl at the 7. Exactly.
I mean, there was absolutely no rush at all.
He kicked it from inside the 10, I believe, didn't he?
Pretty close, yeah.
I think so.
The lines aren't too dark, and,
No.
and the markers on the far side of the field, orange and silver, are
Always a challenge.
unreadable, yes.
Westwood from their own 47, 1st and 10. Movement. This will cost them 5 as apparently the right tackle pulled up. That was 53. That's Brennan Delaney.
Sophomore, our quarterback, makes a mistake. He shows the clockers that was a pass play by dropping back into passing formation when he knew there was not going to be a play called because of all the whistles. The young quarterback, of course, eager to pass. Eager to show what he can do.
So now it'll be 1st down and 15.
Andrew McKay, 67. 75 is Wayne Carlson.
Collins dropping back to throw. He launches it out there. And the coverage is there, and the ball falls incomplete.
Danny Sullivan.
It was intended, I believe, that was number 31, Joe Mashtai.
There's a brother?
Well, I don't know if it's a typo, but it's M-A-S-T-A-J, whereas Chris is listed as M-A-J-T-A-J.
Yeah.
So.
I think that M-A-S is the correct.
Mashtai.
Yeah, I think that M-A-S is correct for both of them. Let me check here, Paul.
In any case, 2nd and 15. They bring number 24, that's Ivan Carrasco, to the near side right. Collins on the option, flips it back to Mashtai. Number 5 with a big alley. One man to beat over on the far side, and he's going to beat him. It's going to be a touchdown.
Beautifully run play. A very, very, very late flag.
Joe Hughes had the only shot at him and couldn't get there, but a flag, as you noted, down around the 15, 20-yard line.
Ungodly late. It's a holding
It's a hole. That's going to come back.
But why so late? He was in the end zone before he threw it at the 30-yard line. Flag landed on the 20. Coach Maines' clockers catch a huge break as Mashtai shows why he's the star of the Wolverines. A beautifully run option by Collins as well. He sold him. I thought he was going to carry it.
I have to say I did not see the hold.
How many do you see?
No, you don't.
Behind the play. None.
So they move it back from the spot, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 3.
That penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which would have been up around the 34, 35-yard line. So anyway, 2nd down and about 3. Westwood still showing that pass formation. The handoff is was it Mashtai again?
That's not a bad guess, Paul.
No, it was Brennan. It was Brennan. I beg your pardon. It was Brennan, and who actually lost some ground. Probably lost the yard, so it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
So Andrew McKay is 67. Carlson is 75 if he's out there. Piers is not in the game on defense. 56 is Mike Mazurek. Still don't know who 38 could be. Could be Phipps.
And I think that was a broken play, or perhaps Collins didn't quite handle a snap, but he hung on and he goes down. So it'll be another loss, and it'll be 4th down. It'll be 4th and about 5.
Danny Phipps usually wears 60. I don't see 60 on the sideline, so let's say that's him. That's Danny Phipps tonight, Ron.
19, Peter Kellner is out of the game for Westwood. And it appears that they will punt. And indeed, Chris Mashtai is the kicker.
Little confusion. Hackett's back.
Hackett is back deep.
Fake.
It's a fake. Mashtai is going to carry it. Mashtai has some room. And I don't know. Did he get the first down?
I think he did.
He was close to the stick.
He went down, Paul.
Unless he went out of bounds.
Oh,
I think not.
He's getting a terrible spot.
He might have gone down and he might have touched the ground, but he
did a little slip sliding, Paul, but it's first down Ashland from what I can see.
Yeah, the way it looks from here.
They got to measure 2 inches away from the ball, and it's first down Ashland.
It's about the length of a football short.
Mashtai had his lane open on the left, but somebody caught up with him there.
Well, again, it was Hughes.
Hughes got him this time.
I think it was Hughes again.
Number 83, Joe Hughes, the senior defensive back. Sullivan in a quarterback.
At 5:56 to go in the first quarter, there is no score.
It's like Hackett and Roman in the backfield. Is that not deep? No, it's Souza the first time.
It's Sullivan on the keeper, and he turns the corner and picks up maybe 3 tough ones.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
First down play if you can get 3 or 4. Sullivan is pumped up.
That was Dan Sullivan on the keeper from the quarterback position.
He's operating at full speed. And Roman gives him the play from Coach Maines. And Hackett's coming out. So I'm guessing Roman and Souza are in the backfield.
No, who's wearing 36? Is that not?
Not it's 34.
That's what I thought, but we don't. 36. Anyway, on the snap. And the handoff. This is Sousa. Sousa's going to pick up the first down with some extra to spare as he picks up about probably 10, I'd say a good, about a 10-yard carry from the line of scrimmage, but it's first down.
Now 36 is a lineman, Paul. That's Danny Phipps tonight, we've decided.
Okay.
Because number 60 is Danny's usual number. No 60 on the sideline, so I think it's him. So Sousa's first carry of the season is a good one.
At the 41-yard line of Westwood, 1st and 10. Handoff and a fumble, and it's going to be Westwood. Was that Roman?
That was Keith, I believe. Brian.
No, that was Exel Martinez. That was 29, Exel. So they cough it up, and it'll be Westwood ball, 1st and 10.
Exel gets a rare carry and fumbles. Clockers were hurt in Millis by fumbles. They fumbled 3 and had 1 interception. And that didn't help against a tough defensive team like Millis. So the drive stalls, and the Wolverines get their second chance with the football.
From their own.
Their third chance, excuse me.
And this is Mashtai. Mashtai on a rumble. Mashtai has one man a beat.
Jason
heading for the corner, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Nice looking run. Nice looking runner. No flags this time. This one's going to count, and the Wolverines take the lead. Clockers lack that speed in the defensive backfield, Paul, to catch or cut down those ball carriers that break through the linebackers. Nothing. They usually kick, and Mashtai does the kicking, and looks like that's what they're going to be doing here. Chris Mashtai, number 5, doing it all for the Wolverines here in the first period. At the Grump, 6-0, looking for 7. Left foot soccer style.
The snap, the kick.
Oh, jeez.
Looks good to me.
Wow. Paul, it was a 1.5-step approach, too.
He almost hit the building. So anyway,
What
with
a beautiful looking ball.
4:24 to go in the first quarter, and Westwood breaks on top 7-0.
I was kicking some field goals last week at halftime of a game, and it's really hard. Of course, I kick it the old way, the straight on,
I see.
like Lou the Toe Groza used to.
Lou the Toe. He held a scoring record for a long time
Yes.
in the NFL, did he not?
Yes.
Sure
And, of course, in those days, you had another position as well.
he was a tackle,
He was a tackle.
number 76.
That's right. So you had to play. Of course, in his later years, he just kicked.
That's right.
But guys like Capoletti, they played.
He was an end. But he also scored as an end, did he not?
Yes,
He
so
would have
that
scored a
helped
few
him.
points, yeah.
I think he was the American Football League's leading scorer. Possibly passed by George Blanda somewhere along
Right,
the way.
because Blanda was a quarterback who was a place kicker as well, right?
Yeah, and I think occasionally he'd sneak one in and
Right.
add to his total.
And I'm glad you said his name because I was sitting here trying to think of it and absolutely couldn't.
Played 100 years.
Yeah, just about.
And you don't hear from him much anymore. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, Wolverines are fired up.
They are fired up is right.
The mystery man here, Paul, in the second tier, number 27, that we haven't been able to identify for 3 weeks. We now know he is Buddy Norton. The sophomore sensation. Son of Jimmy Norton. Ashland football legend. A part of that 1978 Super Bowl team. Or 77, I'm not sure.
Yvonne Carrasco will kick it off. Sousa and Hackett are back deep. Here we go. Now the kick, he boots it. It's going over towards Sousa. Sousa's backing up to about the 15-yard line at the 20. Deeks outside the 25 to the 30. Not a bad run back. It'll be Ashland ball 1st and 10 from about the 31-yard line. 4:15 to go in the first quarter. Actually, they spotted just inside the 30. So Ashland on the short end again, trailing 7-0.
Westwood's got a nice kicking game.
Yeah, they do indeed.
Everything's been deep. The punt went over Ryan Hackett's head. That kick was deep. The field goal, I mean, the extra point was tremendous.
We have Sousa and Hackett in the backfield. Guerrero in motion. They hand it to Sousa, trying to deke his way outside. But, you know, he sort of lost his footing for just a second, and that will not count as a fumble. The ball was down. He picked up about 3, but you notice he sort of hit a spot and his foot came out from under him.
I didn't know I didn't know if he was dancing or what there.
No, I think he actually lost his footing just for a moment.
It's always worse than that brown spot in the middle of the field.
No, and there's a big brown spot. The field, I understand, has been used almost interminably for several weeks by a variety of teams. Pop Warner, the varsity, of course, and over the course of a season.
JV games, all the JV games have been here too.
It will take a toll. All right, Guerrero in motion.
It's a freshman team too, Paul.
Pitch back to Sousa, trying to turn the corner, turns it inside, and he's going to pick up a couple 3 yards.
Another fumble.
No, they say no. Westwood said yes, but the official on the side said no.
How many fumbles can we have here? That's 3 fumbles already, only one that has been real. The Clockers are having trouble with that ball, and you'll remember Westboro muffed the opening kickoff.
It's 3rd down and about 2 to 3 yards to go, so not a gimme by any means, and not necessarily, I don't know, what do you think? 2-down territory? Would they do it at this point in the game? I don't know.
I'd say no.
I would. But Sullivan has been to the sideline for a conference with the coach. Sousa is in the backfield, along with 24, that's a Roman. Sousa wears 40. Guerrero is in the slot. On the far side is Mazzella. Throw out there to Guerrero, and he's got the first down. Nicely crafted play. Went for about 4 yards. It'll be 1st and 10. Just sort of fell on. Now, one of the few occasions, as a matter of fact, when you see him in there when he did not go in motion. Instead, he just sort of drifted out there and for 4 yards, and that's all they needed.
That was nice. Irish Dan Sullivan, he needed to get that one under his belt, his first completion.
I'll say.
Ball is just over the Ashland 40-yard line.
So from about the 41-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
Joyce is the center. Piers and Carlson are on the right side.
And the handoff to Sousa, and he's going to be dropped for about a 1-yard loss. You know, I almost thought there was a motion on that play. I thought Guerrero just sort of whiskered ahead just a little, but
okay, yeah.
Apparently not.
I don't know who made that play, but it was a very good one for Westwood.
Sousa limps off. There was a loss of about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. And Sousa hobbles over to the bench.
Danny Phipps is coming out, playing both ways tonight. 2nd and long. I don't know if this is our passing formation or what.
Guerrero to the near side left, Mazzella on the far side right, so a couple of wideouts. Sullivan to throw, throws it incomplete for Hackett. It may have been a lateral pass. It goes out of bounds. Thankfully for Ashland, it was a lateral. So they'll maintain possession, but it's going to be a tremendous loss of about 10.
Well, I have to say, I thought that was a forward pass.
Well, it's tough from the angle, but everybody chased it.
Yeah.
Now they're going to talk about it.
You got to keep playing until we hear a
No,
whistle.
it was a forward pass.
Yeah.
So
Danny threw it too hard.
If you're going to do that, you know, you better complete it if it's a lateral, or else things like that can happen.
It's intended for Brian Hackett. 3rd and long.
The Wolverine is on the ground.
Let's see who it is. Oh, he's hurt. Now he's getting up.
Now he's getting up.
It's like number 30, 50, or 80. It's 50.
Okay.
I'll let you identify.
Jesse Murray is number 50, one of the co-captains.
Okay.
6-foot senior, 200-pound guard and linebacker.
3rd and long, a passing situation. Although they often run in these situations, figuring they got a better chance of Hackett or Sousa breaking one than they do of passing successfully. Flockers have not passed successfully in several years.
3rd and about 11. It'll be Sullivan out of the shotgun, so it sure looks like a pass.
Connaughton's in.
Connaughton's in there. The flag is down.
Motion.
Sullivan's looking for him. Long throw, intended deep for, and it's picked off. It was intended for Mazzella down there, but it was picked. But it may be, I think it'll be Westwood ball. I suspect that was a penalty against Ashland, right?
That was a great interception. He stayed with it.
It was an illegal motion against Ashland, declined obviously, so it'll be Westwood ball. That was Majtai in the interception?
Joe, yeah.
Okay.
The receivers moved. They were lined up on a flood tip left, so to speak, and they were all started moving and bouncing and jumping around. But Danny Sullivan really let that ball go. The Clocker receivers gave up on that ball, but the Westwood defender didn't, and that's why he got the interception. Reached up with one big arm and pulled it down, bobbled it, and then controlled it. From the Clocker standpoint, not much different than a 4th down punt with a lot less effort. So not a terrible result for Ashland.
Carrasco and Narciso to the far side left, but it's a running play.
Jason Knott getting significant minutes at linebacker and making plays. He's number 34.
That was Brennan for about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Berard in at defensive end this week, Paul 85. Danny Phipps alongside him. Big Keith Piers in the middle now.
Same set. They send Carrasco and Narciso again to the far side left. And they're going to throw. They throw it out deep, and it's going to be incomplete. It was thrown high and long. And I find it hard to believe that that was really a set play. I think somebody made a mistake because it was Narciso, number 32, who was really running on a line down the sideline, and Collins delivered it behind him and pretty much straight out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. With 18.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. They bring Narciso, number 32, to the near side right. Carrasco to the far side left. Collins back to throw, turns it upfield. It's a keeper of some sort, picks up one maybe. So it'll be 4th and long. Inside 10 seconds to go in the quarter. So that'll do it for the first quarter. And at the end of a quarter, the score is Westwood 7 and Ashland nothing.
Not a bad first quarter for the Clockers. Other than one play, they played very well defensively, and Sullivan's looked comfortable at quarterback.
Well,
and Sousa's had a couple of good runs as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for the record, though, remember that another good play was called back on a late penalty, in which Mashtai also carried into the end zone, did he not? Remember that came back on a hold?
I'm not even going to remember that.
You don't want to. I don't blame you. But again, I mean, something in common with the game against Norton, I think, and that is that one back killed him.
Yeah.
And tonight it's Mashtai. They've got to contain him somehow, but he can motor.
We're susceptible to the big play.
I think so.
Because we lack a little speed in the defensive backfield. And I'm hoping that eventually if Sousa gets in at linebacker, he'll become a stopper for this defense. And in many ways, I think he means more to the team defensively than he does offensively.
Well, he's on the sideline walking around as they've taped up his right ankle, as he was favoring it when he came out a few plays back. A rule change that we did not comment on earlier, by the way, in the Tri-Valley League are now 11-minute quarters.
Yeah, I like it.
So there.
It's more time for the subs.
That's right.
And more football. Oh, that was blockable. The Clockers kind of quit when they...
Mashtai kicks it out of there. Hackett giving ground, picks it up back deep in his own territory, turns it upfield, and he's tripped up and he's going to be dropped down around somewhere fairly close to the 30-yard line. It'll be around the 27, I think. So it'll be Ashland 1st and 10.
He made 10 or 12 yards there where it looked like he was going to have nothing. Not the best field position for a team that doesn't really make big plays. But it's better than nothing. And with 10:47 to go, trailing only 7-0, Clockers have an opportunity right here to get on the board.
All right, the spot's at the 28-29, 1st and 10.
Sullivan gets the play from Maines. Barad coming in late into the rotation. Phipps hustles off.
So they bring Mazzella to the near side right. Guerrero would be out of the slot. And quick pass over the middle. Is that Connaughton, 85?
Guerrero.
Is it Guerrero? And that's going to be good. It's going to be close to the first down. That is Guerrero. I beg your pardon. But that's close to the first down. They've got it. So.
Nice play.
Well done.
Quick pass. Or is it Barad? No, it looks like 85.
It was Barad. Okay,
yeah.
I beg your pardon. Barad. It was Barad.
My eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
No.
Because I can't remember when they used to be. It's a first down.
The handoff, this time it's Hackett. Hackett trying to push his way ahead, gets to about the 45-yard line. So that's about maybe a 3-yard pickup.
That kid
so
takes a pounding,
7.
but he jumps right up.
Yeah. Closer to 4-yard gain, so call it 2nd and 6.
It was a tough 4 yards.
It wasn't easy.
He took a couple of real good hits.
Did not look like fun. So he's back there with Excel Martinez. And the delayed handoff to Hackett. And this time, the gain is maybe 1. So it'll be 3rd. And about, well, more than that. It'll be 3rd and about 2.
Tough spot here, Paul. Let's see if they go with the short pass like they did in a similar situation in the first period. They went to, who did they go to on that play? Guerrero. It was only a 3-yard pass, but it was just what they needed for a first down. They show a run formation.
No, they give it to Hackett, and he's going to lose ground.
Yeah, no mystery there.
Nope, none at all.
4th down at midfield, they may go for it. But Barad is in, and it looks like they're going to be in deep punt formation. Which is not to say they won't try something, but...
So Majtai will be back along with Carson Brennan to receive the punt.
Well, I guess you want Brennan to handle it. Another bad snap.
Another tough snap.
Again, no rush, but here it comes. He gets it off.
He got it out of there again. It's going to come down. It's going to be handled down there by Brennan. Slips one tackle, comes across the 35-yard line to about the 37.
Once again, the Clockers catch a break as somehow Mike Barad got that off.
Do you think they're doing that on purpose?
Paul, the guy that caught it was only a couple yards from where he was standing anyway.
That's right.
And then he slips right down. I mean, that comes out very good. They're back inside their 40. And we've got 8 minutes left to go in the first half. Westwood 7, Ashland nothing.
So they dodge another bullet. Westwood at their own 37, 1st and 10. Majtai, the tailback, Doug Collins, the quarterback, calling signals. Drops straight back to throw. No, a late handoff to Majtai. Gets by a couple of tacklers. Has the first down, tries to get outside, and finally hauled down by the shirt sleeve, by the shirt tail.
Jake Joyce.
Joyce got him, but boy, he picked up about another acre. So it'll be 1st and 10.
Nice play. All he needs is a little running room, a little something to get started, and he breaks tackles. Clock is having a little bit of tackling problem.
Line of scrimmage is the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Carrasco to the far side right, Narciso to the near side left. Collins back to throw, launches it out there, and it's going to be picked off. It's intercepted by, I think it's Hanrahan.
It is.
So there. It was intended for Narciso 32, but it was just lofted out there up for grabs, and Hanrahan came down with it.
Dead ball foul after the play.
I assume that's got to go against Westwood, would you say?
It should. There's no reason for us to be committing any personal fouls.
No, I wouldn't think so.
There was a little wrestling match for that ball, but Hanrahan stayed with it.
Well, personal foul, Ashland.
Must have been verbal.
No, offsetting.
Oh.
No, they do. They back it up. Nope, I'm sorry, it wasn't. That was the first down signal, so they do back it up.
That puts the Clockers way, way back.
That takes the edge off the publicity, as they say, as they back it up to about the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
Oh, Paul.
Is that the 20?
Are they the 20?
No. 50?
No. Yeah. Okay. Roman's in.
Connaughton to the near side right. Guerrero going in motion. Hanrahan is in there, throwing it out there deep, and it's intended for Connaughton, and it's broken up at the last second. Line of scrimmage is the 11. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, that was a shame. That was there. The ball was there. That was a good play.
Well, remember, Connaughton did that in the first game against Norton, went up high and took it out of the hands of 2 defenders who both fell, and he carried it into the end zone. And I suppose that that's what they were trying to do again. Well, Hanrahan is back in at quarterback.
Yeah, actually, that's his first time at quarterback tonight.
That's right.
But he started the first 3 games.
Connaughton goes to the far side left. Guerrero coming in motion. And they hand it off inside. This is Hackett. Looks like he picked up maybe 4 or 5 yards. It'll be third down. See where the spot is. Maybe he got 4. It'll be third down and 6.
Ball on about the 15, Paul. We struggle to find the field position and line of scrimmage. And another tough third down play coming up. And someone wants a timeout.
Call a timeout. Westwood call a timeout.
It's nice of this official to signal the timeouts. Usually we don't get a signal.
No.
And that's the first timeout of the night, I believe. It's a big play for the Clockers, so it's a good chance for them to talk it over. But the Westwood coach, he wants his team to stop because another touchdown by them before the half would be a big, big help.
Well, you know, he's also thinking, let's be honest about this. If they, you know, put them in a fourth down situation back where they are, the way the long snapping has been, they could snap one into or through the end zone on an attempted punt.
Yeah, have both attempted punts been wild?
They sure have.
Was there any good ones? I don't know.
Is there ever a good punt? Hanrahan to throw, has some time, throws it out. Oh! Blam! Did Connaughton take one? Oh! It's an incomplete pass, but oh, did he take a lick?
Yeah. A very, very tough play for even the most seasoned receiver to come over the middle, catch that ball, and know you're going to get creamed. Even in the NFL, a lot of receivers cannot do it. And Michael Connaughton had that ball, but it got jolted loose by a great defensive play by the Westwood secondary.
So now we're into the twilight zone of punt attempts as again Barad back to kick. He must be very close to the goal line.
Maybe Hanrahan should be behind him.
This is a good snap. He double pumped it actually, but he got the kick out of there, and it's going to be handled over there by Brennan. He dropped the ball.
It's live.
It's live. I think he fell back on it. He did. The signal is it'll be Westwood ball right at their 40-yard line, or right at midfield. Excuse me.
Mike Barad was trying to keep that ball away from Chris Mashtag.
I thought he took an extra step.
He did. He wanted to aim it.
Yeah.
It was a nice effort by Barad, who finally got a snap, a perfect snap, and it gave him that extra time. And I'll say this for Sean Hanrahan, in his first series of the night, he threw the ball well. He had 2 passes right on the money.
He had the passes where he wanted them, although you can't blame Connaughton. I mean, there was coverage on the first, and that second one, Connaughton just took like a missile in the ribs. All right, Carrasco to the near side left, and it'll be Narciso to the far side right. Handoff to Majtai, cuts it up in front. He's picks up a yard, maybe 2. He's pushed back. It'll be second down. Coming down to 6:07 to go in the half. Westwood leading this ball game 7-0.
Gilberto, Hackett, and Knott combining on that tackle. One of the player 2, this number I didn't get.
Virtually no gain on the play. So they controlled Majtai one time. He's back there with Brennan. Again, they bring Carrasco to the left.
Andrew McKay in his defensive end.
Collins hands it off to Majtai, and he's wrapped up again. No gain.
Phipps is there. The player on the ground getting up slowly was the main tackler.
He sure was, and he paid a price.
We're going to have an official's timeout here as he's attended to by our new trainer, whose name didn't make the program.
It is homecoming tonight, and we'd like to welcome all the graduates of Ashland High School. A lot of notable returnees from the class of 2000 tonight. We'd like to welcome field hockey and softball star Megan Sullivan.
56, Mike Mazurek.
Mike made a nice play, but he ended up on the bottom, and he's going to have to sit one out.
Actually, a slight loss on the play for Westwood. 3rd and 10. And they're working from midfield.
Who took his place? Is it Piers? Yeah. Piers comes in 55, one of the co-captains.
Well, they like this formation with the wideouts. We'll see if Collins throws. He's thrown earlier in the game, obviously. No, he's back to throw. Throws off his wrong foot, and it's complete. Wouldn't you know? And that's Kellner, I believe.
Pass is complete. Nastai to C.J. Kenny on the play. It's a first down for Westwood.
Number 32 caught it.
No, it's Narciso. I beg your pardon. Okay, but it's a 1st and 10.
Now 32, is that the other mash tie?
No, that's Narciso. The other
Mark
mash tie.
Narciso, yeah. Mash tie, the other one is 31. So I think that Narciso is the one that had the interception earlier, was it?
Yes.
First reception this time. Collins wants to pass ball, you can tell.
From the 34, they hand it off.
Oh, they're all over him. What a play. Great defensive work by the Clockers. Knott, Piers, Barrag.
First hit on the play was Jason Knott.
So a loss of a couple on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
See if they go back to the air.
Line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line of Ashland.
Clock running under 4 minutes to go in the half. Westwood 7, Ashland nothing. The Wolverines looking for more. They're down inside the Clocker 35.
As it backs out of the wishbone this
Here
time,
he
but
goes.
Collins to throw, has time. The safety valve over there is Mash Tie, breaks a tackle and breaks another, and actually turns what should have been about a 4-yard loss into a gain.
What a shame. They had him, Paul.
And they had him.
All over him. A tough kid. Clocker's tackling problems starting to rear their ugly head here and cost them.
So the net gain on that is going to be close to 6, I would say. In any case, it'll be 3rd and about 7.
That's a much more manageable
And Westwood calls a timeout.
distance. You figure this is 2 down
Right.
territory.
I have to think that with Mash Tie.
Ball now inside the 30. Timeout Westwood. That would be their second, which would leave them 3. And it looks to be the full timeout as the whole team goes to the sideline.
Now, Sousa is down below us with an ice pack on his right ankle.
Coach Deej talking to his defense, and Kevin Maines, the head coach, in there. Along with the assistant Tom Forbes. Coach Maines also assisted by Kevin Carney, Derek Atherton, Tyler Perry, Chris Small, and Dennis Baker, the younger. So Maines' staff has really grown. He's got 7 assistants. I don't think Belichick has that many assistants, does he?
Yeah, but this might be a better team.
Yeah. Well, time was we only had about 22 players on the team.
That's right.
In the pre-Maines era.
The subs didn't have to worry about playing because there were no subs.
Yeah. Now Tyler Perry. This is homecoming weekend here on the campus of Ashland High School, and Tyler Perry, Chris Small, and Dennis Baker who assist Maines.
Collins throwing it out there. It's complete. That's Narciso.
He's inside the 5.
And he's inside the 5.
What a play.
That was a great pass.
Right on the money. So never mind the 2 down territory, Paul.
No.
1st and goal. See if I can get you the yard line.
No, it's down around the 1.
Is it that bad?
I think so. If you look over in the corner, because you see the little,
You're right.
little square thing.
You're right. This is going to be a tall order for the goal line defense.
That was just a
1st and goal at the 1. Timeout Clockers.
That was just a post pattern. They ran it.
2:49.
He ran it to perfection, and the ball was there.
Well, you know, a touchdown before the half here like this makes it awfully tough to come back.
That is painful.
You know, and I don't know if I told you this, but I've done a survey over the years, and in my experience, when you're behind at the half in high school football, you seldom come back to win.
It's not easy.
The Clockers did it last year against the Wolverines down in Westwood, but it doesn't happen too often.
No. Well, we have Mashtai and Brennan in the backfield. Collins on the count. And actually handed it off, I think, to Mashtai. Was it Brennan? But he didn't get there. So it'll be second down.
A late call.
A late call. He did get there. So
they had a committee meeting, and they decided it was a touchdown.
Touchdown Westwood.
So the score goes to 13-0, 2:41 left to go in the first half. And the kick coming up by Chris Mashtai.
Was that Mashtai again on the touchdown? I hate to have to ask.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was a nice fake to Brennan, who was the first guy through, but then I think the handoff went to Mashtai, who
could be
forced it in. So it's 13-0. And Mashtai is in, presumably to kick the extra point. Here we go. The snap, the spot, the kick is good.
What distance he gets.
He's got distance.
And right down the middle.
So with 2:41 to go in the half, Westwood leads at 14-0.
That really hurts Paul. Clocker's got 2:41. They got to get something on the board. They've got to try to get something on the board. I think you're going to see more passing because Hanrahan's throwing the ball well tonight. But they're going to try to connect on with a receiver. That's been the tall order.
Well, first things first, obviously, they're going to hope for some sort of field position off the kickoff.
But this Westwood team kicks them too deep.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get to your own 30. Of course, Hackett, always a threat. Very fast. Number 43. Nick Roman's had several returns this year. He's number 24. He's deep.
Carrasco to kick. And he spikes it down there. It's going to come to the side where Roman is, and there's a scramble for the ball as it hit the ground. Live ball. And it's Ashland ball. It was
and just barely.
Just barely. Yes, indeed. So, you know, that was the perfect place to put it. He put it in between the up guys and Roman. Roman.
He was on it immediately, but
he was on it quickly. But so was Westwood.
Nobody blocked.
No.
As the special teams of Westwood have really played well tonight.
So we're going to be at about the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Tall order for the Clockers. They bring
76 yards to go and 2:34 to do it. Hanrahan is the quarterback.
Mazzella on the right side, and they pitch it back to Hackett, trying to sweep left. Turns it upfield, grinds out, maybe 3, maybe 4. Clockers running. It'll be second down. Be about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. They call timeout. Stop the clock. 2:25 to go.
Ashland's first timeout.
No, they called a timeout before the goal line stand, I believe. Did they not?
Could have been.
I think it's at least their second. In any case, that's not usually an issue.
It's a 20-second timeout as here they come.
Okay, Guerrero's in there. Mazzella's in there. They hand it off inside.
Loss.
And it's going to be a loss. That was a 6-yard gain the first play, but this is going to eat some of that back up.
Another timeout, but a 3rd down play coming up.
It'll be 3rd and 5.
And they've got to get it because they won't go for it down this deep in their own territory.
No, I mean, 2 minutes to go in the half. That's still plenty of time for Westwood.
Look for a 7-yard pass to Berard or Guerrero. Just enough for the first down. Let's see what they do. Sousa sitting down on the bench, Paul. I'd have to say he's hurt. Helmet's off.
They wrapped an ice pack around his ankle a few minutes ago. Now, that's not a good sign.
Possibly he could come back in the second half, but we will not see him anymore in the first half, or so it looks. Walker's frustrated by their inability to get any points. Scoreless their last 10 quarters. Passing formation on the right side.
Yeah, Connaughton is in there this time.
Manzella and Guerrero.
Guerrero. He launches it out there deep. It's from Manzella. He's not going to get there, and it's almost picked off.
Off the top of his
helmet.
helmet.
There was some very good coverage down there. That was 24 Carrasco on the coverage. But actually, Manzella was very well covered on the play. Manzella was well covered, and to the point that the ball was almost intercepted.
Yeah, but
it's fourth and long.
It snuck through and actually hit him on the top of the head.
So Barrard is back in punt formation.
Narciso did make a nice defensive play, 34.
Narciso back to take the punt. Barrard kicks it out.
Oh, his best tonight.
Good-looking kick when they needed it. And so Narciso is going to let this one roll. And that's what they needed at this point. That's going to be out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. It'll be Westwood 1st and 10 with 1:58 to go in the half.
Clockers obviously cannot afford to give up anything close to more points.
No.
And I don't think Westwood will be passing simply because of the inherent dangers of interception. So I think you're going to see a steady diet at number 5.
I don't know. He's a single back. As they show flood tip on the right side, and Collins back to throw, drops the ball, and it's recovered by Clockers.
Well,
it was almost a Statue of Liberty play as Majtai took about a couple of running steps. He was gonna take it to carry it, but instead it fell.
It was actually what you would call a draw play, but
a late draw, very late draw.
The young quarterback, Doug Collins, tried to really sell the pass. Everyone knew he wasn't passing, but he tried to really sell it.
And oversold it.
And he ended up just dropping the ball on the ground instead of handing it off to his back. And the Clockers have a chance to get back in this ball game. They've got 1:53 left in the first half. They've got the ball on the Wolverine 30, their deepest penetration of the game, and they've got a first down.
Ball is just inside the 30, actually at the 29, but that's not the issue. All right, Hanrahan hands it off to Hackett. And Hackett busts forward for about 4. It'll be second down. That will light the flames.
Let's hope. That 4-yard run by Hackett is something that you can pretty much count on every time the Clockers have a first down. But here's where things go wrong, right here on second and third.
That was about a 2-yard gain, so it'll be second down and 8. As Connaughton comes to the Guerrero to the near side right, Manzella to the far side left. Hanrahan rolling out. He's going to keep it. He's going to run. And Hanrahan surges forward, picks up about 3 or 4. So he turned nothing into something.
It was a nice play fake, but the Westwood secondary did not buy it. Clockers call another timeout, their third or fourth. And we're down to 1:11, and a third down play coming up, obviously 4-down territory.
The 3rd and 2, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the mist has started to fall.
Well, I see some umbrellas in the big homecoming crowd. Pretty good crowd on hand despite the weather. A lot of alumni here.
I would suspect this has to be Hackett. I can't imagine they'd throw in this situation. I suppose you got to go to your main man.
Ooh. Now,
I wouldn't risk it because, as you said, it's 2-down territory, but that's two downs on the ground.
Let's agree on Hackett, but what kind of play is it going to be? Is it going to be a sweep? Is it going to be a pitch? Is it going to be a draw? Is it going to be off tackle?
Well, those are about the 4 options. That complicates things. But he's done some of his best work, I think, on a short sweep.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me to see.
Should be good for a couple.
It wouldn't shock me to see a play just like the last one, where hand-to-hand passes or runs.
Well, that's another option, but
so to speak.
So to speak. All right, a Roman is in the backfield along with Hackett. They give it to Hackett, and it's the off-tackle play, and I think he's got it.
Boy, he got close.
He's
and
close.
Got stacked.
But it's irrelevant. I think he'll be so close, as you said. They'll go. There's no question about it.
Down.
It's a first down. He's got it. Okay. And the spot is going to be right. Let's see. It's going to be inside the 20. It's going to be at around the 19, 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock is running inside a minute.
Look for a pass here.
Hanrahan, no. He hands it off. It's Hackett. Hackett with a lane and forward inside, I think inside the 10. No, he coughed it up, and Westwood has the ball.
Brian Hackett absolutely separated from that ball by very, very hard tackling. He had a great head of steam. He had a 10-yard burst, and the head of steam he had built up actually cost him as the hard hit separated him from the ball. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does.
Well, not an auspicious development.
I don't know if they're going to be, if the Clockers are out of timeouts, we'll see knees here. Or if they only have one timeout, we'll see knees. Yeah, they're in that prevent type offense where they have a player standing on the goal line just in case something is fumbled. They do take a knee.
They took the knee.
I don't see a timeout being called, so possibly one more knee, or maybe not.
They may not have to.
We do not have a play clock.
No, we're down to inside 20 seconds, so
I think we can safely say that's the first half.
that's going to do it. So at the end of a half, the score is Westwood 14, Ashland nothing, and we'll be back.
For the latest in school news, sports scores, and special events, turn to Cable 10, Ashland School Channel.
Take the second half kickoff as we're back. The clock is trailing 14-0. The Wolverines 2 touchdowns. The first one came on a long run by their star back Chris Smash, tie number 5. And the second one was set up on a beautiful post pattern from quarterback Doug Collins, number 14, to number 32, Mark Narciso, who's had a great game, by the way, as a receiver and a defensive back. And then Mashtai crashed it in from the 1, so he's got both the scores and both the extra points. He's got all the points here tonight. It's 14-0. And I see Matt Souza with no helmet on and very gimpy right leg, so I don't think we're going to see him in the second half tonight. Danny Sullivan, a very credible performance in the first period, and Sean Hanrahan took over in quarterback in the second period and threw the ball very, very well. Clockers penetrated to the Westwood 10-yard line just before the second half, but a fumble ended that hope. So they're 2 touchdowns now down, and the next score decides whether or not we have a ball game or if Westwood's going to have an easy time of it here in the second half. 22 minutes left to play. Hackett and Roman deep. And the second half is underway.
Carrasco kicking it off, and it's going to go out of bounds over there, so that'll be a procedure penalty. That'll cost them 5 yards.
Westwood kickoff is out of bounds on the far sideline.
There's also, I think, that option where you can take it at the 35, 1st and 10, but they're going to make him re-kick. And I don't blame him. So Hackett and Roman should move up 5, along with Buddy Norton in the second tier.
So we'll do it again.
Who else we got in that second tier? Dave Borghese, number 25, or XL Martinez, 29. Looks like Jake Joyce, 52, is in there. And we try it again.
And the kick. This is going to come down across the way. 283. That was Hughes, actually. And he takes it upfield to about the 43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. So good field position to open the second half for Ashland.
Yeah, that's good, Paul.
Yep.
That's a good place to start. We've got to score first here in the second half to make it a game.
Well, Hanrahan is coming in. So we've seen most of the offense, frankly, and so has Westwood, but it's just an issue of making the plays, I think.
Yeah, everyone's been thrown to.
Yep.
Manzella, Guerrero, Barad.
Yep. Connaughton, certainly.
Connaughton.
He remembers.
Everyone's carried, I think.
Yep.
I don't know if Nick's had a carry tonight. I think he has. Oh, the pitch.
The pitch back.
There's a new guy, just Jason Knott.
That's a new twist, and it goes for Knott. About back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Actually, they're going to pin on slight loss, actually. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
The Wolverine defense led by number 50, Jess Murray, the senior captain.
Well, Guerrero and Manzella go to opposite sides. Wideouts they be. Hanrahan drops straight back to throw. He has time. Throws it out there, and it's going to fall incomplete. Possibly intended for Guerrero, although it was short. And if it was intended for Manzella, it was way off his track. So it'll be 3rd down and almost 11. And they put themselves in a situation where they essentially, I think, have to pass, I would say.
Buddy Norton's in.
If they were to get close with a pass play, they might go for it on 4th down, but you don't know. They're in a situation, I think, where they just can't afford to give up more points. Anyway.
I'm guessing they're going to Buddy Norton, 27. I don't know why else he'd be in the game.
Hanrahan back to throw.
He's going long.
He's going nowhere as he's dropped for about a 6-yard loss.
Buddy Norton made a move down the far sideline, but before Sean could get it to him, he was snowed under. And Barad's going to have to punt, and this has been an adventure tonight. He's had 2 sail over his head that he's made excellent recoveries on, and he's also made a couple of great punts on good snaps.
Bear in mind, he's standing at his own 20. Oh, here we go. Good snap. Berard handles it. Drills it out of there. Not a bad kick. And it's going to come down. It's going to take an Ashland roll. And it's going to be blown dead. It's just inside the 30-yard line. It'll be first and 10.
If I were the Clockers, I would have been all over that ball because, you know, it looked from a distance like it could have been argued that it went off a Westwood foot, which would have made it a live ball. Sometimes you jump on that ball and the
Try and sell that concept,
yeah,
exactly.
And the ref starts thinking, geez, it must have hit his foot.
Line of scrimmage around the 28-yard line, first and 10. Doug Collins calling signals. This is Majtai already going to his left, but he's going to be dropped for a loss. So a good defensive play turned in by the Clockers. As I believe that was number 56, Mazurek, that got in there. So that's going to be a loss of about 4. So it'll be second down and 14. Funny thing, Majtai, when he looks good, he looks very good. When he's, you know, doesn't look so good, he really doesn't look good. Which is...
He might get worn down in the second half.
Yeah.
It happens to some backs.
Again with the 2 wideouts.
After they get
and
hit
Westwood
a few
not
times.
afraid to throw. And... Disaster.
Collins.
Collins is, yeah, he loses, 8 or 10 yards on
yeah, and is happy to just keep control of the ball. There's a break for Ashland in the 3rd and over 20.
That was an interesting situation because I hate to say I had my eye off the play, but Carson Brennan, number 11, actually was running a pretty severe pattern out of the backfield. He might have been the main target, if I had to guess. In any case, with 3rd and more than 20, it's probably about 23, 24 yards for the first down, as they have to get almost to the 40-yard line, to about the 38. Long way to go on 3rd down.
They can stop this cold. The Clockers can get good field position and get back in this ball game, or at least have a chance to get back in the ball game.
You would think. Carrasco to the left side, Narciso to the right side.
Collins has it.
And he kept it, and he goes
got
down.
Nothing.
Got nothing. Might have gotten a couple. Might have gotten to the.
I don't know what that play
20.
was.
No, hard to say.
He didn't really look like he was an option type quarterback or a keeper.
No gain on the play. It'll be a 4th and 20 coming up for Westwood.
Now Brian Hackett has a chance to do something if he can field this punt. He has the chance to get the Clockers inside the Westwood 40 and maybe inside the 35 with a fair to middling run back.
Remember, Majtai carried one on a fake punt earlier in the game, but he kicks from inside his 10, loops it out there. At midfield is Hackett. Ahead to the 45, the 40, on his feet. He's inside the 40, down to about the 35-yard line. So, indeed, excellent field position for the Clockers with 6:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Amazing how the quarter has slipped by, however. It's just an exchange of punts.
Shoot up 5 minutes.
Shoot up well. About 4 1/4 minutes, but nevertheless.
Maine's using more players on offense now. XL Martinez in the game, 29. And is that XL?
Knott's back there.
And Knott as well.
They hand it to Knott, and Knott has got a couple.
Knott holding that ball with both hands. He was running it looked like he was running like he was afraid to fumble more than he wanted to get yardage.
XL comes out. Nick Roman is in. Knott stays in. Sousa may be done for the night.
They're working
Hackett
on Danny Phipps too, Paul.
And Hackett's not in the game. Manzella single wide out on the left side. Hanrahan to throw and completes it out there, and I think it's Guerrero. It was indeed Guerrero. Short gain, but nevertheless, it's going to be 3rd down, I believe, and about 3rd and 5.
Piers and McKay on the right.
Hanrahan back to throw, has protection, throws it out there, and it's incomplete. Diving for it was Guerrero, but he couldn't get there. That would have been right around the first down stick. He could not get there, so it'll be 4th down. Now Hackett comes into the game along with Excel Martinez. Knott comes out. And a Roman comes out. Connaughton comes in. So this will be interesting as there will be 3 receivers on the field. Now Martinez comes out.
See if they run an option here, Paul. Yeah,
It's a 4th and 5 situation.
I think they're going to try to run this. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's shotgun. I guess not. Let's see.
I don't know.
First time we've seen the shotgun.
Good snap. Hanrahan has time. Hanrahan launches it out there, and it's incomplete. It was actually intercepted but taken out of bounds, intended for Manzella, but that was the 4th down play, incomplete, so it'll be Westwood ball.
He couldn't have been better covered. I guess Hanrahan felt he had no other chance but to let one go. Well, the Clocker defense, once again, the pressure's on. Phipps is ready to play again. He's back in to anchor the front. Barrard, Phipps, Carlson, and Mazurek, the front 4 for the Clockers. The backers are Joyce, Gilberto, Knott, Hackett, Hanrahan, Guerrero, and Sullivan, the defensive backs. Gilberto, a linebacker. And defensive signal caller for the Clockers.
Westwood called a timeout.
Just one of those short ones, right? Because they're ready to go. 5:14. 3rd period. Westwood 14, Ashland nothing.
All right, from the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Collins hands it off to Majtai, bounces off a tackle, won't bounce off the next one. Picked up a few, however. It's going to be about close to a 3-yard gain maybe, so it'll be 2nd down and about 7. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Westwood leading in the ball game, 14-0.
I got to believe Mashtai's got to try the wide side of the field here at least once this series.
That would make sense.
He's already broken 2 down that alley. Actually, the one was right up the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
one
the sweep
called
has been
back. Yeah.
But they both went to the wide side, I think. You may be right. Narciso to the right side. Carrasco on the far side left. Collins looking to throw, has time, throws it out. It's complete down there to Kellner, and Kellner has the 1st down. I think that's a couple of receptions tonight for Kellner.
Yeah. Caught one early, I know.
Yeah. Kellner, the tight end.
There's 2 receivers right in the almost exact same spot that time. I wonder if that's a play.
So the line of scrimmage is the Ashland 48-yard line, 1st and 10, down to 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And again, Clocker's in a situation they just simply can't afford to give up any more points. Handoff, this is Brennan, and he gets nearly nothing. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Hackett in there. Hackett sees a lot of action. One of the 3 captains of the Clockers, along with Piers and Carlson.
Two wide receivers now on the left side, Carrasco and Narciso both out there. Collins looking to throw, has some time, throws it out there, and it's complete. And it's going to be enough for 1st down, and that was Narciso, 32. So that's about a 10 or 11-yard gain, just enough for the first down. It'll be at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. No, now they say it's short. They see he must have gone out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
Got kind of a tough spot, didn't he, Paul?
I thought so. I thought he had it, but I have to assume either his knee went down or else he was out of bounds.
This Collins throws a nice ball. Both of these quarterbacks have really been throwing nice passes tonight. Collins holds it right up near his head before he lets it go.
This time they bring the receivers to the right side, give it to Brennan, and he spins for the first down plus. That's going to be about a 6-yard gain, I think.
It's just what you want from your short down back, your short yardage back. And this is what I guess you'd have to call a drive.
I guess.
2 or 3 first downs.
As we're moving to the 2-minute mark, the ball is spotted on the Ashland 34-yard line. It's a first down.
Clocker defense getting worn down maybe just a little. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Both winless in the league and winless overall. Both at 0-3.
Collins hands it off to Mashtai, and he's going to be hit for a loss.
Jason Knott, Wayne Carlson, Mike Berard, John Gilberto.
That'll be about a 2-yard loss, so 2nd and 12.
They're going to pass here. Would not surprise me. But where is that sweep? When are they going to run that?
I was just going to say, you notice they have not run him outside yet. Now they send Carrasco and Narciso out on the left side. So if they're going to sweep, possibly they're there to block. But no, Collins to throw, scrambling now, looking, gets the ball off, and it's incomplete. He had a receiver, let's see who it was. Either Narciso or Carrasco, or it was Narciso 32. He went up for the ball. I don't know if he even needed to jump, but it just sort of bounced off his pad.
Yes, he juggled it, and that gave Danny Sullivan and Sean Hanrahan a chance to close and level them.
Yep, and somebody's down. I think it's he.
Well, we're going to have an injury timeout here. On homecoming night at Ashland High School, clock is trailing 14-0, a very hard-fought game. 5:49 left to go in the 3rd period. The clock is trailing. It's great to see a lot of the alumni here, Paul. Some of them, of course, as I started to say earlier, on Coach Maine's coaching staff. Chris Small, Dennis Baker, Tyler Perry, all former players in the 90s. Yeah, they're going to take a little time here with the injured player. Now he's up. It is Narciso. 32. And now we're ready to resume play.
We're inside a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the situation is 3rd and 12.
Oh, I thought it was 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
No, it's 54.9.
Thank you. I didn't see the decimal. Wait a minute, there is no decimal.
There is no decimal.
But that's only in the last under a minute.
Right. So the line.
It's a new scoreboard, you know.
I know.
So I'm not really used to it.
Line of scrimmage about the 37-yard line. Collins to throw, has time, bounces away from a would-be hit, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds, far short of the first down. Flags going down, and don't tell me this is going to be a late hit.
It must be.
Must
it has to be. Ridiculously late. He was almost in the golf cart.
Personal foul against Ashland, and that'll give them the first down. Can you believe it?
Isn't that nice on a 3rd and 12 to give up a 15-yard personal foul when the kid's 5 yards out of bounds?
the 20.
20-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Coach Maines, he has the hands on the hips, Paul, and that's when he's just about had it.
And as much as I hate to bring this up, Westwood in a position where they could score again in this quarter, or score in this quarter. Have not scored yet. Hand it to Mashtai. Here comes the sweep, trying to get outside, He's got the first down. He's at the 10, the 5, and he's in the end zone.
Once they smell that end zone, the great backs are not denied. A tremendous burst of speed around the left end. He's just way too fast for the Clocker defense. And the score goes to 20-0 with the extra point coming up. And now it becomes an extremely tall order for the Clockers to get back in this game, as they just have one period and a few seconds to do it. And they're trailing by 3 scores.
I guess the question that one hates to ask is, if an 0-3 team is doing this against an 0-3 team, where does this put Ashland?
Well, you know, Paul, this Westwood team has their entire team. All their starters from last year are back. So they did not expect to be an 0-3 team. But the league is so tough this year. Every team is good. Dover Sherburne has a great team. Medway has won a couple of games after not winning a game for the last 2 seasons. Medfield is tough. Hopkinton is tough. Millis, the defending champion, they're a great team. Bellingham is loaded. So it's a very, very tough league this year. And the Clockers are not that bad, but it's all relative to the competition.
So it brings back my original question. Where does that leave Ashland? It could be a long season. In any case, the extra point was good, and it's 21-0.
I like to think they're a good team that isn't quite good enough.
Well, that could be.
You know, I saw a little of it last year. We had a very experienced team last year, a good-sized team. We had good players at skill positions as well. And the Clockers expected to have a good year last year and finished only 4-6. So the league is just a tough league.
Evidently. So the Wolverines will kick it off one more time.
But it doesn't get any easier, Paul. Medfield away next week, then Bellingham.
No, it doesn't indeed. And this time, this is a live ball as a Roman has to chase it down back around the 10-yard line. Now turns it upfield, and he's going to be hit and dropped somewhere around the 16, 17-yard line. So it'll be Ashland 1st and 10 with 28 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Wolverine's starting to smell blood, Paul. Somebody's got to get in front of those kickoffs. You can't let it split you like that.
No. First and 10, they bring Manzella to the near side left. Guerrero is in the slot. They hand it off to Hackett. Hackett with a big hole, and he's gonna rip off a gain of about 7. So it'll be second down. A good run, in any case, for Hackett when they needed it.
Great interior blocking by Piers and Joyce. Carlson.
It's about a 9-yard run, so it'll be second and 1. Would you take a shot here?
Clock is yes, on second and short, yes.
And that's the end of the quarter. So at the end of 3, the score is Westwood 21, Ashland nothing.
The trouble is the passing game, Paul, is just, they've picked off one. They've had several others that could have been intercepted.
Yes.
So it's a dangerous proposition. That said, down 21-0, yes, I would. Throw it up. Teach Connaughton to use that 6'5". Just keep your eye on the ball and just out-jump the defender for it. Try him on something short where he can just stop and leap. If the quarterback can put the ball up high. Clockers, for the last few years, since Maine's been coach, have a play that sort of a post pattern, I guess you'd call it, a down and in to the center of the field, where the receiver gets into a position where he's the furthest one back there, and if he catches it, it can go for a big, big gain. The play has been a staple of the Clocker offense for many years. Hasn't connected in many years, but this might be the time to try it.
Well, they have Connaughton and Manzella to the near side right. If they intend to pass, Hanrahan looks to throws it out there. It's complete to Guerrero, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds, but he has the first down.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope, nothing at all. That was good for, 7 yards, give or take? We'll see where the spot is.
First down, Ashland.
It's going to be more than that, about a 10-yard gain. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Ashland at their own 37.
The big train's in the game. Number 73, Adam Thiel, the senior. Playing alongside Pierce at tackle.
This is Hackett. Hackett trying to go over the left tackle. Is going to go nowhere. Might have lost some.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Second and 10. And a flag.
Got to blame Nick Aroma for that, but we'll
Motion.
see.
Yep.
Nick
So
he didn't look like he knew where he was going to be. Then he found a place, but then he decided to bounce up and down a couple times, and now they get it straightened out.
So that'll make it 2nd and 15. Not what they needed. Clock is running, 10-10 to go in the game. As out they come. Connaughton is in there. They send the 3 receivers to the right side. Pitch to Hackett, and they smell this one out, no problem. And he, again, might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, might have gotten 1 or 2. That's about it.
I think they were blitzing that time. They were in mighty quick.
Peter Kelvin in on the tackle for Westwood. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 15.
So it's 3rd and long, 3rd and close to 15. As time is slipping away in this game. Hanrahan out of the shotgun. Looks, throws, trying to lead. Manzella, and it's going to be picked off down there. It's Narciso again. And he turns it around and runs it back to about the 40-yard line.
He was right on Manzella. And the only way Jeff's going to catch that is if Sean gets it over the defender's head. It's got to be long. That's the only way he has a chance to get it.
No, Narciso's not that tall, but he's got about a 4-inch height advantage over Manzella, according to the program. And it showed right then Manzella could not get behind him.
When you're guided that close, the only way the pass can be completed is if it's thrown long. It's got to be thrown long, and you got to hope Manzella
can run under it.
Right. But you can't. If it's thrown at him, he's never going to get it.
No. Here we go. Handoff to Brennan, and he's stiffed. Barely broke it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Although we may be at the outer limits of the high school quarterback's arm here, too. You forget that sometimes. We all get spoiled watching the college and the pros. WACA-D back out there again. As we're under 8.5 minutes to go. And Westwood with a nice 21-0 lead.
Pitch to Mashtai, and he's going to be stuffed. It'll be another small loss, maybe a couple. So it'll be third down and about 13 to go.
Here's a not let him have it.
Nope.
He deserves it for all the damage he's done tonight. He's got all 21 points. Looks like an excellent play up, Paul. Chris Mashtai. M-A-S-T-A-J. You've heard a lot of different pronunciations, but and actually we have two different spellings of it as well. But he's number 5. He's had a great night.
Again, Collins to throw. Rolling right, throws it back across, and there's a flag. That's going to be interference.
Very
intended
close.
down there.
Very close. Danny tried to time that.
It was intended for Carrasco.
Danny Sullivan tried to time that. I thought he did a pretty good job.
No, he was early.
The official couldn't wait to throw that flag.
No.
Let's see the replay. Yeah. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, see it? See it? I was right. See?
So the spot is going to be at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Oh, no, Sullivan had him lined up. I mean, he had the right idea.
It was the only way to
make the thought that counts.
It was the only way it was going to be stopped.
Yeah.
Because he was too far back to do anything else, and now a timeout. A full timeout. $21-0, 7.5 minutes left to go. Clockers desperately trying to do something here. They've gone over 11 quarters now without scoring a point and are on the verge of their 3rd straight shutout.
You know, the nature of high school football being what it is, pass interference is not a penalty that you see very often.
No.
Really?
No, things aren't that well defined in the high school game. And we're at a Division V level here as well. Great story in the Boston Globe, their new West section that appears, I think, on Thursdays, about getting football scholarships to Division I schools. And Massachusetts is on the bottom of the list for the scouts and the recruiters for college. There's just not that many players from our area.
No.
And even less than that from the lower divisions.
Look at Mashtai trying to run away from the tackle. Somebody had him down low, and he just did everything he could to get out of the grasp. I believe it was Berard who had him. And finally they drop him. And actually for a loss. He sort of ran into the loss. So it'll be 2nd down and about 11.
Ashland should start thinking about calling timeouts, using up their timeouts now. They're costing, these running plays are taking about a minute each. Although there's 2 schools of thought on that as well.
We're inside 7 minutes. They send the 2 wideouts to the far side right. And Collins is dropping back to throw. Has some time. The outlet now, that's Mashtai again. He gets up ahead of steam, and he's going to be hit from behind and taken down. It'll be a gain of about 6 or 7, I believe, and it'll be 3rd down.
Nice call, Paul. A relatively safe pass.
Right.
Something you're going to complete, keep the clock running, and at the same time get some yardage and have a little element of surprise, not just running off tackle every play.
Well, it went for about 6 because they had lost the net of about a yard on the first couple of plays, and now they have 5 to go for the 1st down, and the clock is running. We're down to 6 minutes, and you're so right about what you said about every play taking up a minute, including that one. Collins to throw, rolling right, rolling, looking, throws to the end zone, and it's, in and out of the hands down there. Either Carrasco or Narciso, let's see.
What happened?
Don't know. I think he was
wide
so open.
He caught it and then, put it on the ground.
That was, it's 32 Narciso.
Inexplicable. That stops the clock and brings up a 4th down. So there's a break for Ashland. I don't know if they're going to punt here or just go for it. If you really want to pin the clockers back, you could try to kick it in the corner, pin them back at the 5 or 10 yard line. The clock will stop if the clockers stop this play on the change of possession.
From about the 26, 4th and 5.
The Wolverines are passing again. They're just having fun.
Yep. And throwing deep for the corner, and it's incomplete. That was intended down there for Carrasco. May have gone off his hands. In any case, the clockers hold, so it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 25, 26-yard line.
So Ashland's got 5.5 minutes to do something.
They really have to break the drought. They've got to get the ball into the end zone. A killer just before the end of the half when Hackett fumbled down around the 10-yard line, because that should have produced points.
Yeah.
But instead they came away empty. Hanrahan drops back to throw. There's a flag down. Throws it out incomplete.
Looking for Knott.
It was not the intended receiver. And I just missed the call. Was that a hold?
Almost always is.
Yeah. Holding against Ashland. So that'll back them up.
I don't know why, but somebody must have been slipping through and had to be grabbed. Down stays the same.
It'll be 1st and 20. It's a 10-yard walk-off.
But the clockers are, what are they, in the 15 now? Yep. 85 yards to go.
5.5 minutes to do it. And they have to do it 3 times. Anyway, Guerrero in motion off this play. And the handoff out there to Hackett. Hackett with a big hole. Picks up the 10, picks up a little bit more. Got about a 12, 13-yard gain out of this, but it'll be 2nd down. And I'm going to guess around 7. Clock is running down to 5:15 to go in the ball game. Actually, it would be 2nd and 5 as they spotted around the 30. So that's about a 15-yard pickup for Hackett, one of his best of the night, I think.
Yeah, I would say that's the Clockers' longest play from scrimmage tonight, is it?
Very close to it.
Yeah.
It has to be. Manzella coming to the near side right. Guerrero is in there. They hand it off again inside and straight ahead. I think that might have been Knott. So they pick up the 1st down. So Hanrahan runs into Knott, hands it to him. Knott tries to swing outside, will about get back to the line of scrimmage. So just out of kilter on that play. We'll see where the spot goes.
Collided with the quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to give him about a 2-yard pickup. In any case, 2nd down and 8, inside 4 minutes to go. Do not want to see the team shut out again, bud.
Yeah.
That is a real possibility.
Coach Maine's not using his timeouts.
Connaughton is in. They have the 3 receivers to the right side once again. Hanrahan to throw. Throws it out complete. This is Guerrero. Short gain as he's hit instantly. The gain I don't think will be good for more than 3. So it'll be 3rd down.
Manny's got pretty good hands. He usually catches it.
Well, he caught it, but again, I don't think the gain was even 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
Catches almost everything.
3rd and 6 for the Clockers.
Maybe it's time to try him a little longer. Shotgun.
Yeah. Hanrahan shuffling about, looks, throws, and it's incomplete over on the far side.
Tried to get underneath the coverage, but...
And that was Guerrero again, but he could, it was too low. It was too far underneath the coverage. It was sort of a ground ball, and Guerrero could not get his hands on it. So the clock is stopped with 2:53 to go, and it's 4th down and 6.
4th and 6 for the Clockers.
And you got to figure they're going to go. Hanrahan gets the play from the bench.
Look for some kind of rollout thing this time, I think. Well, they're going to set up in the shotgun, but see if Hanrahan tries to create something.
I don't see how, but they've got the 3 wideouts. Dropping back the throw, he has time. Now he's going to run, and he's going to not make the 1st down yardage. I take that back. He's going to be fairly close, but I think he's short.
They've already given it to him.
They gave him the 1st down. Okay. All right.
They're at midfield, Paul, or almost. They've got a 1st down. They're 2nd on this drive, which finally got started around their own 15 after they got pushed back on a penalty.
Again with the receivers. Hanrahan throws. He's just going to launch it out there. He's looking for Connaughton, and it's off his hands, almost picked off. There's a flag, and this could be interference against Westwood.
Pass intended for Mike Connaughton is incomplete, but there is a penalty flag on the play.
It was indeed pass interference against Westwood, so the Clockers got a break. I'd like to see that one on replay, frankly, because I didn't see it when it happened. That was a surprise to me.
It looked clean to me, too, Paul.
I thought it looked clean, but...
Let's watch it on replay.
We'll watch it on replay. Well, we're going to be right again, you know.
Yeah, there was no interference.
From the 30.
Right off Connaughton's fingertips. Clockers will take it anyway, and it's another 1st down.
Somebody must have given him a shove when he went up because he's so tall. I mean, obviously he gets over everybody.
Yeah, that was the call, yes.
That's Hackett trying to sweep it outside. The play will be good for about 3 or 4 down to 2 minutes to go. So it'll be 2nd down 7. And the spot is going to be at the 33-yard line. About the 33-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Clock continues to run unabated. I hate to see time run out on this drive. I hope Coach Maines will at least give him a chance to get one in here before this game ends.
Well, they certainly need it. Connaughton is in there again. They're sending the 3 receivers down the right side. Martinez, the only blocking back as they launch it out there for Connaughton. He's got it. He's got the touchdown. All right. Clockers break the drought.
Perseverance paying off.
Right.
As Michael Connaughton, who's been hit from stem to stern tonight, every time he's gone out for a pass, has had several right in his hands jarred loose. Takes this one in without any problem at all.
And if you notice, that was not predicated on his 6 feet 5 inches in height. That was a good pattern, a good throw.
He was open.
He was
right.
open.
You might have even been able to.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well.
Extra point. Little wobbly, but it's good.
Good
so
rush.
with a minute 22 to go in the ball game, the score is Westwood 21, Ashland 7.
So with 1:22 left to go here.
Roughing the kicker against Westwood.
21.
All right, I didn't see the flag go down, so that'll
will that be assessed on the kickoff?
I believe.
Now with 1:22
Did that look like
left
interference
to
down
go.
there? Did you? I didn't see him.
The Clockers, let's see, they're going to get to kick off.
That's what I thought. Oh, he said it.
From,
Oh, yeah.
From the Westwood.
But I thought it was a clean play. But that's all right.
They get to kick off from the Westwood 45.
Yeah, they're going to walk off 10.
10 or is it 15, Paul? I think it's a 15.
Oh, it's 15. I beg your pardon.
There was a penalty on the extra point attempt, which is marched off.
Now they can make it real fun with an onside kick.
Yeah. But do you wish now you called some timeouts? Because there's only
What I really wish is that Hackett hadn't fumbled on the 10 at the end of the half. But you know, you can't change history.
Back in '94, I wish Pandolfi had crashed in from the 1-inch line against Bellingham, but we got to look ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be to this side.
Yeah, it sure is. They've got the bouncer, and it's going to be covered. Ooh. Oh, and a flag.
Oh.
That was unnecessary because once the knee was down, the play is over.
Yeah, they forget
That's a personal
that,
foul.
They forget that.
So that's going to cost them 15.
Yeah, but you know, Paul, was the whistle blown? Don't you play till the whistle's blown?
What can I say?
You know, I mean, how do they know that he's got possession of that ball? If the whistle, you know, you got to blow the whistle. That ends the play. Other than that, you keep playing.
So we're at 102, and Westwood's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. But at least Ashland broke the scoring drought, as they had not scored for 2 games. They finally score late in this game on a nice pass play from Sean Hanrahan to Mike Connaughton.
What's that, about a 30-yard play, 35-yard play?
I think. Westwood's going to play. They hand it off again to Majtai. Majtai swinging around. He's going to be clobbered, and he's going to lose about 5. Down to 54 seconds to go.
Timeout.
Ashland, now they call a timeout. In any case, about all that Westwood has to do is take a couple of knees, and it's over.
Yeah, unless Ashland's going to keep using timeouts, try to get the ball back once more. Don't really understand why you would use them now. And if you're going to play for a fumble, you got to go for the ball when you're tackling. Got to try to rip it loose.
Second and 15.
Clocker should have all 11 up at the line of scrimmage, but they don't. There's a loose football.
Loose ball. Collins with it, and he's going to be dragged down
rip
for another
it loose.
loss.
Go for the ball.
That's a loss of about 6 or 7, so it'll be 3rd and 20-something.
Another timeout. 46.9. Or is that 4 minutes and 69 seconds?
Could be.
Yeah.
3rd and 20 coming up.
That is really confusing.
Clockers would like to get the ball back once more, I guess.
I guess.
As they're forcing Westwood to run through this series. This will be a 3rd down play. They stop it. Westwood will have to punt.
This is Majtai. Majtai with a lane, and he picks up about 8 or 9, but it'll still be far short. It'll be 4th down at about 12. So they stop the clock again with 39.5 seconds to go. And presumably they'll get the football.
Now the play for Westwood here is to kick the ball out of bounds. You do not want to risk a return of any kind.
No.
Because what the Clockers would like to do is to take this one back and then try the onside kick again.
Exactly.
Then hit Connaughton and tie it up or win it.
Go for the win.
Yeah. 21-7, 39.5 left in the game. The Clockers trail, but they're going to get the ball back and have another try at that end zone. They've broken a 3-game scoreless drought with a touchdown pass from quarterback Sean Hanrahan to wideout Michael Connaughton, the two seniors connecting for the second time this season. The other Ashland touchdown this year on a run by Brian Hackett. Clockers have the block on.
Oh, but Carrasco gets it out of there. They're going to let this one roll. Hackett is back there. He's not going to touch this one, and it's going to take. It's going to be touch dead down around the 25-yard line. So just under 30 seconds to go in the game. Clockers will get one more shot at it.
Brian just had no way to return that ball.
No.
Clockers went for the block. Carrasco got it off nicely. A low liner that took a hop away from Hackett and just made it totally unreturnable. Even though it wasn't kicked out of bounds, Carrasco happy just to get it off. So a long way to go and a short time to do it.
Timeout is signaled.
That's an official's time.
It's an official's timeout.
Saw the JVs in action this week. They lost to Millis, and pretty much the same problem as the varsity. Could not move the ball, could not come close to scoring.
Joe Hughes is in there as a wideout. Hanrahan to throw. He's going to try and launch it again. There's a flag down as Hanrahan is going to be sacked.
Hanrahan brought down with a short gain, but there is a flag on the play.
Some kind of a bad block, Paul. Oh, intentional something?
No, he called a timeout, but I think the referee who threw the flag made a signal against Westwood, but I didn't catch the penalty. I'm not sure what he called, but I thought he pointed toward Westwood.
But they're talking to Westwood, and what the heck?
It looked like the position was it should have been a hold, but Yep, it is. It's a hold. That's all it could have been when Hanrahan was scrambling, trying to elude the grasp. A would-be tackler went down, and that had to have been it, but it was just a strange signal that the referee gave first time around. But that's okay. So it's second down and 20. Hanrahan out of the shotgun to throw, launches it out there, and it's half blocked. It was tipped.
Goes as an incomplete pass.
So it'll be second and 20. Guerrero is in there. Connaughton is in there. Manzella. And I'm not sure about Hughes. He was in 2 plays ago, as he was the wideout on the left side.
Ashland running what I would call deep crossing patterns, where you try to sort of pick the defender. But Westwood, of course, playing very, very deep.
Well, it's again Guerrero, Manzella, and Connaughton to the right side. Hanrahan throws it out, and it's in the hands of Connaughton for a relatively short gain. As we're down to 5 seconds. 3, that's going to do it, folks. So Clockers fall to 0-4. This one ends. Final score is Westwood 21, Ashland 7.
Well, it's good to see him get on the board, but it's tough to be 0-4.
It is indeed.
And this was a winnable game against the team that came in with the same record as the Clockers. But Westwood got the win tonight. I have to say, Chris Mashte was the difference. He had an excellent game, scored all the points. But I'd have to give credit to the Westwood defense, too. They played excellent in stopping and shutting down Ashland until the final 2 minutes of the game when the Clockers broke through on a 35-yard scoring strike from quarterback Sean Hanrahan to Michael Connaughton.
Well, you know, these things always look easier than they really are, but Connaughton has been a key weapon for Ashland, obviously, and it's probably not fair to say that they're not using his talents, but tonight, as we noted on the completion for the touchdown, he ran a very nice, pretty much of a post pattern, but just plain beat his guy. I mean, it didn't have to do with being 6'5". It was a good pattern. He was open. It was a well-thrown ball, and it went for the distance.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the aspect of the game that they have to work at. I mean,
it's funny when you get down near, you get 30 or 40 yards downfield. If you wait that long and then start to cut in towards the middle, that's when you can get some separation. If you're just on a fly pattern down the sideline, they're right with you every step.
They should be, absolutely. Although that's pretty much what happened in the game against Norton, but he went up over two guys, hauled it down, and they both fell. But you can't depend on that happening. So, an interesting turn of events.
I like the way Sean Hanrahan threw the ball tonight.
Oh, he threw the ball well.
And I have to give credit to the Westwood defense. They were right there
and I'm
on
sure
most of the passes. But a lot of those passes were on the money, but were just broken up.
And I think you'd also find that Hackett probably rang up a pretty good yardage total in some.
Yeah, Bryant had about 65 yards
a decent
rushing.
Game for himself.
Yes.
So who knows? I mean, the schedule just doesn't get any easier. And as you noted, the league is just bone rock tough this year.
And Danny Sullivan made a nice debut as a varsity quarterback tonight. He played an excellent first period. Looked comfortable out there, looked smooth, hit a few passes, and played an all-around good game.
So that's going to do it. And the final score once again tonight was Westwood 21 and Ashland 7. And for the cable guys here in Ashland,
I've got a list here. Tonight's
tell
game.
us who they are.
Tonight's game was produced and directed by Paul Bowden, and he was technically assisted by Big Bill Lawler, and he was helped by the great camera crew that we had here tonight, and that included Jay and Jeff, Jay Fox, Jason Owen, or Jeff Owen, and a cast of 1,000, including Salwa Drucker. Slava Drucker is actually his name. And they did a great job, and it was great to see a great turnout of volunteers for tonight's game, and all volunteer staff doing a great job to bring you the Clockers on the athletic fields and gyms around the Tri-Valley League as they play. And you can follow the Clockers here exclusively all season long, all sports, right on Channel 10, the school channel.
2 weeks from tonight, it's Bellingham, real-time October 20th. So, on behalf of the cable guys and Bob Thacker, I'm Paul Burke, wishing you a very pleasant good evening.